Good afternoon, everybody. Are you ready for part 2? So let's just check that we are showing up on Facebook and on YouTube before we get started. I've left these here from last night just to give you a little reminder, and just in case anybody didn't see them last night. So we are on Facebook, so we'll just wait for everybody to get here. And we are on YouTube. So good afternoon, everybody. It feels real. Oh, hi, Sylvia. How are you, darling? Good afternoon, everybody. Be able to stay awake at lunchtime. Fell asleep last night. Oh, bless you. Not to worry, Kay. We did go on for a couple of hours. Hi, Kathleen. So I'll take this little screen off, and I'll just leave this here until everybody gets logged in. I'm not sure how many people will get on a Saturday afternoon because I've not done one on a Saturday afternoon for a long time. But we'll wait. We'll wait a couple of minutes. We'll wait a couple of minutes just to see how many people get. Hi, Alison. So hi, Kim. Hi, Di. So these are obviously what I showed you last night, and they've been so busy. So thank you, everybody. I'm glad you love them as much as we do. As I say, the samples from the design team will be on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page on Tuesday. Hi, Bev. So I'm being a little bit more gentle with you today. There are only 4 new products, which takes us up to the 14 new products that I told you about. So 14 all in one go, I know it's a lot, but it'll be absolutely worth it. And the 4 that I'm going to show you today are they kind of. Hi, Gillian. Gillian, where are you? So the 4 that I'm going to show you today kind of finish off part 1 of the Framed Sentiments collection. So I think you're going to absolutely love them. So I'll do all the technical stuff first. So all the new stamps and dies are available to order now. So this is, I don't usually do this. Usually I make you wait, as you know. Well, I have no choice, but we usually have to wait until after they've been on TV. So I'm trying this just to see if you like it better getting them before I've shown you them on TV, or if it doesn't make any difference. So after this weekend's done, I'll do a quick recap with Karen Monday or Tuesday just to see how it was, what you all felt. I think it's fabulous because we can have a guest demonstrator, and now I've figured out the software. It makes it easier. So the Create and Craft shows. So these all of the new dies will be on my shows on Wednesday at 7 a.m. and 12 noon. 7 a.m. I can't believe I missed a 7 a.m. start again, which is just a pain for me because it means staying over the night before and getting up at the crack of dawn. Anyway, so all the new dies, what I showed you last night and what I'm going to show you in a second, will be on my shows on Wednesday. The new stamps, so the 4 new stamps, you cannot get these from TV. You can only get these from me or from Julia or from a few select stockists that I've let have them. So you can only get the stamps from me and from Julia, and these are the first 4 in the Dainty Textures collection. So there are going to be more, and every time I add new ones, they will be exclusive and limited edition. So you will only be able to get these from me and from Julia. And from select retailers. So here we go. Yeah, I think a lot of people do now, Shell. Yeah, Julia's got all these new stamps and dies on her website as well. So today you can only get everything from me and from Julia. And obviously we're going to be able to ship these to you. 7 a.m. is just ridiculous, Julia. Yeah, we're going to be able to ship these to you starting from next Monday, Tuesday. So most of you are going to get these before you've even seen them demonstrated. So I'm going to pop these to one side because you've seen all these. I will do a full recap So we've got a guest demonstrator who's going to demonstrate first. So I'm going to show you the new products, and then I'm going to hand over to our guest demonstrator for the first demo. And then when they've finished, I'll do a quick recap of everything that's new. Karen will be posting links all over the place. I'll do a quick recap of everything that's new, and then you've got my demo. So, are we ready? It's only 4, so it won't take me as long this time. So you got a little sneaky peek last night from Karen. Julia's been packing orders this morning. How good is that? I bet the girls at the shop have as well. Oh, that's fab. Right, so here we go. So these 4 little die sets will complete your oh, that's lovely, Janice, thank you. Jackie, did you hi Rose? Jackie, did you tell him why? So here we go. These 4 little die sets will complete the series 1 of the framed sentiments. And these are the start of a new collection again. I am going to be adding more designs to these over the coming months. And I'm going to show you the first one. These are absolutely beautiful. So here we go. You saw Karen use some of this last night. So this is the first in the droplets in the Sprigs and Corners collection. So there are 4 new die sets, as I mentioned. They're A6. They all come with the magnetic sheet, as always. As always. And you absolutely need these in your life. Yeah, you absolutely need these in your life. So I'm going to tell you why I designed these. So you all know I love my flowers. You all know I love my foliage. And I wanted something else that we can tuck under our flowers. Something else that we can mix in with the foliage. But really, really delicate and pretty. So these are the droplet sprigs. And there are 6 dies in here. You've got this design in open and closed. This design in open and closed. And this design in open and closed. And I'm going to flick them over. They're absolutely beautiful. I'm going to flick them over so you can see. When I do the boards, I'll tell you the sizes. These are really, really delicate. They're absolutely beautiful. So you can see there, look, open, closed. And I've only done 1 of each because you just cut it more than once, which then meant I could get 6 different designs on the A6 sheet. And they're absolutely stunning. I'm going to show you the board after I've shown you the rest of them. So that is the droplet sprigs. Let me put it there. And then with the droplet sprigs, you've got the droplet sprig corners. Oh my word, these are stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. So, same thing again. I'm going to flip it over in a second. You've got 4 corners in here. 2 that are complete, so solid droplets. 2 that are open, so with the open droplets in 2 different sizes. And you've also got extra individual droplets. And trust me, you need these in your stash. So these actually more or less fill up the full A6 magnetic storage sheet. And look how detailed these are. These are going to be amazing, tucked underneath your flowers, framing your sentiments. The new sentiment dies that we saw last night, you're going to be able to frame them. So that set has 7 dies in because you've got the 4 corners and the 3 little individual droplets. Yeah. So that is the droplet sprigs, the droplet sprig corners. We're now going to move on to the heart sprigs. Oh, how pretty are these? So you've got the heart sprigs, same format. So you've got the open and closed in this design, open and closed in this design. And in this one, instead of doing an open because it was too small, let me just show you. It was too small to do the open. So you have a left bend and a right bend with this one. How beautiful are these dies? So that is the heart sprigs. So you know what's coming next. You've got the heart sprig corners. Yeah, the heart sprig corners. So same format, complete. So closed hearts, open hearts, 2 different sizes and 3 extra little hearts. And these are 3 different thicknesses as well. So I'll flip it over so you can see the actual dies. They're just absolutely stunning. There's no getting away from it. They're absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So these are the last 4 new dies for this release. So this now completes the 14 new products. You can order these now. We've got them in a bundle with a saving of £10. Sorry, Sarah. So you've got them as a bundle, saving £10. You've also got them individually with a 10% saving. My tip would be to get them as soon as you can, because I know these are going to be massively popular. Yeah. Bonnie on Facebook's just said tons of fallout hearts in that corner too. And it's absolutely true. Even with the droplets. So with the droplets, look, you're going to get all these little teardrops that fall out as well. So even the waist is beautiful. Yeah. Aren't they just stunning? Stunning, stunning, stunning. No ifs, buts, or maybes. They're absolutely beautiful. You imagine these now. Well, we're gonna show you because we're both using them in the demos. You imagine these mixed in with your foliage. Oh, it's gonna be divine. Right, I'm gonna show you the boards. So, and I'll tell you a few measurements as well. So this is the droplet sprigs, and look how intricate you all know that I love intricate dies, and that's exactly what we've got here. I personally love the droplets because they're a little bit different. Yeah. So you've got the solid ones, and you can stamp over the solid ones, and you've got the open ones. And I'll do a couple of quick measurements, and I'm going to do it in inches because that's what everybody asks for. So the tallest one is, if I can get the ruler in the right place, just over 3 inches tall by just over 1 inches wide. And this, I'm telling you now, you're going to see me using these constantly. In fact, you're going to get fed up of seeing me use these. You're going to get fed up of seeing me use these. And the smallest one is just over 2 inches by, well, a quarter of an inch. So that is the droplet sprigs. And I love them. Absolutely love them. And then you've got these little beauties. Look at these. How stunning are these corners? So you remember I said to you, you've got the open one in 2 sizes, and you've got the complete one in 2 sizes, and you've got 3 extra little droplets. These are going to be amazing tucked under anything. So let's tell you the size of the largest corner. So the largest corner is 2¼ inches by 2¼ inches, and it's the same for both of them. The smallest one is just under 2 inches, and that's the same for both of them. I know, I hope so, Shell. I hope so. So that is your droplet sprig corners, and you can see just how beautiful they are. So then we move on to the heart sprigs. So we've got the heart sprigs. I mean, they're just beautiful. So the tallest one should be more or less the same size as the droplet, and it is, look, just over 3 inches by an inch wide. And the smallest one is difficult to measure because it's bendy, but it's 2 inches by a quarter of an inch again. So that is your droplet, that is your heart sprigs. Can you just see how much you're going to use these? Because I absolutely can. I absolutely can see how you're going to use these. Yeah. So that is the heart sprigs. and then we move on to the heart sprig corner. So I'm just going to show you. Both corners are completely different to each other, and both are beautiful. So the heart sprig corners. So you've got two 1mm hearts, and you've got one that's 1.5mm, and I did that on purpose. And they should be the same size. So you've got the largest one is actually 2.5 square, and the smallest one is 1 3/4. So the heart corners are slightly smaller, but very slightly. Aren't they beautiful? Love them, love them, love them. Yeah, absolutely love them. And remember, there are more coming in the Sprigs and Corners collection. Yeah. So, what do you think? I love these. You know, as a designer, and I know I say this all the time, but as a designer, I try and put things together that work with everything that I've done. Oh, I've got an eyelash in my eye. With everything that I've done, and also with everything that we're going to bring in the future. It also means that you can use these with absolutely anything. So, if my guest demonstrator can just do a thumbs up on her screen for me to tell me that she's ready. Yeah, I am going to hand over in a second to our guest demonstrator, and I have handed over to our special guest demonstrator, and we should be able to hear you now, Julia.
Okay. Hi, everybody. There you are. I can see you. They're there. Phil's gone. Oh, that's really nice. Did Karen get that yesterday? I didn't see it. Right. Okay. So I've had lots of fun playing with this new release, both the stuff that was released last night and the stuff that Phil's just shown you. And before I start, I did put into the comments on both YouTube and on Facebook that there is actually a video dropping on my YouTube channel at 4 p.m. today, which will show you lots and lots of different ways on how to use both of the corner sets. There are obviously lots more ways to do it, but that's everything I could think off the top of my head. So I hope this is okay. It seems a bit jumpy, but is it okay? Anyway, we'll crack on, shall we? Right, so first of all, we're going to do a bit of background stamping. And I want my anti-static bag. This is a piece of elegant ebony card. And we're going to dust with our Sentimentally Yours anti-static bag. And take the Dainty Dots texture stamp. This is one of the new ones. Dots are great. Polka dots, little dots, whatever dots, anything circular is brilliant. So these are A6, as always, high grade photopolymer stamps from Mr. M. And fits perfectly on the A6 block, which comes in the essential blocks. So everything else I'm using, aside from the new stuff, as well as the new stuff, I should say, is obviously available on both of our websites. And we're using Versamark. It's really weird because I'm watching on my laptop and watching on YouTube and everything's a little bit behind. But so yeah, Versamark. So you want a sticky ink pad, an embossing ink pad. So you've got Versamark, you've got Perfect Medium, Wow Do one as well. But we're using this one. Now, I'm not too worried about whether this is perfect or not. So I'm not using my stamping platform. It isn't actually necessary. You just need to make sure you really do ink it really, really well. Hi, Carol. Hi, everybody. Trying to watch everything that's going on. So I'm only going to stamp it once. I'm going to show you how to line it up on another piece. This is so I can cut some flowers out. Obviously, I've cut them out already. So take your time, work around the stamp. It's a big stamp, it's an A6 stamp. Work around it, just make sure that you've pressed everything. And then bring it up. You can hear that as you bring it up. We've got a piece of photocopy paper here. And some pure white embossing powder. So this is the super fine, so it's great for detail. Obviously these dots are really tiny, so you do want a detailed powder. I can just about see it. I don't know if you can. Let me show you. See that? It's not like when I'm doing my own videos and everything I can see straight away. I have to wait for things to catch up. Ink will be dry by the time it's caught up. After me waiting, you can't see it anyway. So there we go. Isn't that lovely? I'm going to wait for that now. Oh, you could see it. It's just, oh dear, snort. Oh dear. I'm not used to this, not having things that I can watch straight away. I don't know why we're doing it like this. Oh dear, oh dear. So let's heat set that. So always warm your heat tool up a little bit to begin with. Now you know me, I'm a top girl. So I'm going to heat from above. Don't do all this. There's no point doing that. Chase the embossing powder along. Obviously the warmer your heat tool is, the quicker it's going to go. And just follow it. Must admit the dots do send my eyes a little bit funny. And you change into that pure white. It's very easy to extend this, which I'll show you in a minute. Very easy to extend all of them in the backgrounds actually. Probably the linen's the hardest, but because it's a bit of a funky linen, it's got gaps in it, it doesn't really matter. That's all the embossing we're doing. Show you that. Really nice little dots, shiny dots. So that is perfect for then cutting out your flowers. So I've cut out some, I've used the Precious Blooms, which I think Phill, I think it was February that, oh, Darling Blooms, not Precious Blooms. Why did I think it was Precious? Darling Blooms, that Phill launched in February. So these, like your droplets and your heart sprigs, it's got open and solid petals. So this is great for doing this. Now the reason why I stamp it first and then die cut second when I'm embossing is if you've got any tape on your die cuts, then obviously that's going to attract the embossing powder, and also it's very fiddly when you're dealing with embossing powder and die cut shapes. So it's easier if you're going to emboss to actually emboss first and then die cut out, because you can just pop your flowers on here and then cut a load out. So that's that, and we're going to use the dots again to create a background, because they're not just for embellishments, they are for backgrounds too. And we're actually, our card that we're going to make is actually going to be a 5x7, not 5x7, an A5 card, more or less. So this is actually a 5x7 piece of pure white card, so it's that color plan, so it's got a slight texture to it. It's not like the new 350 GSM card that Phil's made available, but it's fine with the dots. It's absolutely fine. And we're going to stamp the background. So we're going for a monochrome look with black and white. So we're going to stamp the black background with Nocturne versus Fine Clair. I'm not too worried that there's a bit of Versamark on there at all. You know me, I'm not precious with my stamps or inks. Again, it's a background, so I'm not too worried whether it's perfect or not. Just obviously ink it within an inch of its life and make the camera jiggle a bit, because I like to do that. I'm not going to bother dusting with an anti-static bag because I'm not going to emboss it. So I'm going to have to stand up around the camera to see where I'm going, because I am going to use this. Again, give it a good old press. It is going to be a pretty grungy, not pretty grungy, but pretty and grungy background. Straight up. And there's our dots. And we're going to stamp them again to fill the piece. So again, we're going to go with our Nocturne. Wasn't that card that, I don't know if you watched the demos yesterday, I mean, Phil's goes without saying, his are always stunning, but Karen always does these kind of, they're kind of kinetic cards, shape cards, and I just absolutely love them. It's nice to see that yesterday. That funny noise is the wind in my window. I don't know how it gets through, actually. Right, so we're going to go down on here and we're going to look, because the stamp's got black on it, we can see where the gaps are, and we're just going to pop it down there. Have you got, oh yes, I'm not looking at the subtitles. YouTube's very jumpy in my house at the moment. Let's have a look. Let's see where we're going. There we go. Oh, got a gap. Blip. Oh, hang on. It says our video's ended. I don't think it has. Yeah, it's fibbing. Right, so I've got a gap, obviously, because it's not so easy to see, but that's fine because we're gonna be covering most of that up. Right, this is the beauty of a live demonstration, isn't it? Or not. So we're going to just change that slightly to grunge it up a bit, and so hopefully we'll disguise that. So I'm going to take some. I know we're doing monochrome, and normally I would perhaps go for black soot, but I'm going to go for Hickory Smoke Distress Oxide. And all we're going to do is just drag it. So we're just going to drag some from the top. Drag some the other side. And get some, kind of angle it a little bit. Okay. Happy with that? I can see that line. That's going to really bug me. I'll show you my other one. My other one's perfect. It's typical, isn't it? Absolutely typical. So that's Hickory Smoke. Just a little. Not a lot, just a little. And this is actually going to go on the inside of my card. So we are actually going to do the inside first, and then we're going to build up the outside. This is my outside piece, by the way. No join. You can't see it. It's perfect. It's not mucky, it's pretty. Right, so this is going to go in here. So this is an A5 card, and all I've done is cut a little strip off of it. I'll show you how much I've cut off of it. I'll cut that much off the bottom. So it is virtually an A5 card, okay? So we're going to just pop this on the inside. So a bit of PVA. If you kind of draw with the nozzle, so your nozzle is almost digging into the card, then you're going to dispense less glue, and that's better really. Less is more with the glue. Right. Would have been better to have this one on the front, to be honest, but this is as it is. Hopefully that's straight. Right. Okay. So on the inside, what I'm going to use is this frame here, which is from the Someone Special. I'm all over the place with the frames, actually, using lots of different sets. Make some space. So I've cut the outside die out of this one, which gives us that. Incidentally, you can make shaped cards with these, and little shaped cards or little shaped gift cards by just hanging one side out of a folded piece of card. So your folds here of your card. Let me show you. Fold your piece of card and then pop your die on like that and secure it, just so that there's no cutting pieces going to cut through. Run it through, and then obviously it's going to be a weird shape card because you haven't got your shape of the die here. But then you just cut another one and you put a false front on it, and then you've got your shaped card. 6 different shapes of gift cards you've got with these dies. Brilliant. Then cutting this one like so. No, not like that. Ignore that. Cutting this one on its own will give you this, which will then fit on there like that. Now, to create a frame, you can take the next die or from any other set. Leave this to dry. Make sure it's dry, and you only need to put glue around the edge, just around the straight edge there. Once it's dry, pop this one in, run that through, and then you get an open frame. I want to change it slightly. I don't want to use that shape because I want to put more words in. I want to say sending birthday wishes. Now, obviously, that is not going to, well, it might not be obvious. That is not going to fit inside my frame. The words are too big. So pretend this is a frame. It's just not going to fit. It's too big. It's perfect for 2 words, but will not fit 3 words. Okay. So I've cut them down. So obviously this is from Sending Hugs and this is from Birthday Wishes. So I've used 2 more frames here. So 3 frames on my craft sheet at the moment. So what you do is you take one frame and you cut the bottom off, just with a guillotine. Okay. So that we're not using that. Then you take another frame and you just cut it down. So you've got that. Oh, so that's the waste from that. So in fact, this isn't waste because you could use that just to say hugs or something if you wanted, or stamp a sentiment within it. Don't worry about these joins. We can cover up those joins. Okay. I think you're already guessing what I'm doing beforehand, aren't you? So we're going to just pop this in here. Oh, PV8. I must remember, I'm going to stamp on the sentiment. I must remember to do that. Don't let me forget. I have recorded some other videos as well. There's the one that's going live at 4 o'clock, which has got all those techniques with the corners. Let's see, I need to make sure I get this straight. And then I've got one going live tomorrow morning at 7 a.m, which is a card. And then one going live at 7 a.m. on Monday. That's a card as well. So that's there. Yeah, that's about it. And then the second one going on is easier because you just join it on. Linda, the shows on Create and Craft are on Wednesday at 7 and 12, but I am going to encourage you to buy the stuff from Honeypot Crafts or my website, Julia Watts Crafts, not from Create and Craft. Sorry. Right, so there's our frame. I mean, you can barely see the join. I mean, I can't live with that, actually, so I'm going to cover it up. Don't worry. I've got a plan. But you know, it's not that noticeable. I mean, on the camera you can't really see it. The naked eye can definitely see it, and obviously I'm going to be able to hide. You won't see that thing there because of the ink, and you won't see that gap there because that's where my sentimental piece. So that's a win-win situation. Right, so the other sentiment I'm using, I'm going to put sentiment on the front as well, which is Just For You. So we're going to stamp on these before I forget because I'm hopeless at remembering. So we're going to do Just For You, which is obviously from the Just For You frame, and we're going to do the sending birthday wishes. So let's have a scrap piece of card. We're going to swap our stamp over. We really do appreciate when you buy direct from retailers. Keeps us busy. I would say it keeps us busy and out of trouble, but it probably doesn't. Now, where's my other stamp? Here it is. So I'm going to use the linen. So we're using the two stamps, using the dainty dots and the linen on this one. I've got ideas, Chrissy. You wait till you see. There's so many embellishments that you get with the sprigs and the droplets. You don't need to worry about adding borders or anything like that. It's easy to hide it just with the embellishments. So there's no stress involved. Right, so let's do it with the Versafine Claire because we're because we can, and we're dealing with black and white. Let's see if we can get all of these on. I think we can. See, it's quite handy that you can see this is speckled egg here, this frame, and that's a colour that I've used in one of my demos. I think it's the one on Monday. So I can do them all in one go. They don't have to be perfect. We're not going to stress about them being perfect. A bit good inking. If you're struggling, it might mean that you need to re-ink your Versafine Claire. I carry re-inkers. I'm not sure if Honeypot do. So you don't need to buy a new ink pad, you can just re-ink them, which is obviously more environmentally friendly and cheaper. Make sure they're all in that frame. And we'll make sure they're straightish as well, so all our linen is going in the same direction. Just pop that on there and give it a good old press. Don't forget that on C&C you have to pay £3.95 postage. Even if you spend 200 quid, you have to spend £3.95 postage. Just bear that in mind. Yeah, if you order from us this weekend, you'll get them probably before Phil's on the TV. Now, if you're worried about making sure these are all done, you can turn your stamp over and give it a good press like that. And do it from the other direction, but just be careful that you haven't moved everything. That's almost like a ghostly pattern in the background, isn't it? Right, let's peel these off here. Here's our U. I hope you don't hear my stomach. It's normally my lunchtime, this. Just for you. And when you put those on the, obviously I'm going to stick them, but you put those on your backer. You look fabulous. I'm just waiting for everything to catch up so you can see. And that I'm not holding it in the wrong place. Okay, so let's pull these off. Oh. Yeah, just be careful with them because obviously the ink's very sticky. When the stamps are new, they're a little bit sticky too. Oh, we've got the ice cream van outside now. There we go. Here's all our stamp bits I've remembered. Also, while we're here, let's stamp some flowers. So remember, I'm using the Darling Blooms and I've cut loads out. All the sizes except for the largest one. So I've got 5 here out of the pure white card. Now remember, I've already got my stamped black piece. And I've cut my flowers out directly from this rather than stamping afterwards because I've embossed. But these I've stamped second. So we're going to arrange these within our area here. Phil did tell me I could only do 30 to 40 minutes, so I'm hopefully I might be a bit longer. I hope not. We'll see. Right. Lots of inking. Oh, don't worry, that's all right then. That's all right then. Okay. So again, we can put those in within the area. It's handy to have a piece of card where you've already stamped, so you know exactly where you're going to stamp them. Don't have them too close to one another because then it does make stamping a little bit harder. But again, I will show you what I did because my stamping of mine that I've used, because obviously I've made the flowers already, wasn't perfect, but I'll show you ways around it. And again, we can lift that up carefully, turn it over because those die cuts are going to be stuck to that stamp, and we can give it a press on the other side. Just make sure you don't move it. And then we can take our flowers away. So anything you can use these stamps on, anything at all. And effectively, yeah, Linda's saying what a good idea to have decorated flowers instead of using coloured pattern cardstock. Absolutely. You know, you've all got, I assume, black and white card. So yeah, you can, I mean, even if you've only got white card, you can use inks to colour it. So it is very easy to create your own patterns, and that's what these stamps are brilliant for, is for creating your own patterned papers. So there we go. So there's our flowers. So those are actually better than the ones I did first of all, obviously. I'm not too worried about myself. Actually, I'll just pay a bit of lip service to cleaning my stamp. That's it. Phill will be having palpitations. Right, so I don't actually need these flowers, so I'm going to just put these to one side. But obviously I've got these, so I can use these another time. Let's get these sentiments stuck. I'm just going to do it from the nozzle. I do a few at a time. I didn't want to do all of these ahead of time, just in case I forgot. And then we'd have some that were stamped and some weren't, because I know what I'm like. All right, let's do, and then I'm going to take a piece of kitchen roll and just wipe away the excess. So remember, this ink will probably be a bit wet still, because VersaFine Clair does stay wet quite a while, so just be careful with it. Actually, the linen, I think it looks more it looks more tartan on the die cut, so you could definitely use these at Christmas. So you could actually do something like I'll just use the outer sending, and you can get a Christmas stamp, or if there's another, you can mix your fonts. Obviously you have lots of mixed fonts in your stamps, so you could have sending, Christmas, and then wishes, so you could have that in there. Or for you, just for you, we haven't got an at, have we? But again, you could mix it. There are festive script greetings, so I believe, I seem to remember, so you could mix those and use those. You're going to use these sentiments all the time, all the time. Can you hear that funny noise? It's not the cat isn't in here, it is the wind. The windows aren't even open, but you can hear the wind and the doors rattling. The joys of living down south. And you will find, actually, and I found, you know, when you cut yourself a card blank or your mats and layers, quite often you end up just with a strip of card. So you'll end up with a strip of card, I don't know, like this, or even like this. But you can get these die cuts out of just a strip like that. So you're going to end up keeping lots of bits and pieces rather than throwing them away. Whilst we all like to hoard, don't we? Torn between the linen and the dots. Get both. Yeah, absolutely get both. In fact, just get all four. Remember, these are limited, excuse me, that as well as being exclusive, they are to retailers. They are actually limited edition. So Phill won't keep on restocking and restocking. And especially as he's got other textures in his mind as well. So you won't just keep on stocking them. So yeah, do make sure you don't miss out. I know it's hard because, you know, there's so much to buy, isn't there? But it's good. The linen's good because it's a complete contrast to all the other dotty ones. Complete contrast. So it's really nice to be able to use 2 patterns on your project rather than just one. So I would suggest that you get the linen and you get another one as well. That's my suggestion. I mean, that's why I've used 2, because they work together. Look how easy these are to stick down with that shadow. Absolutely fabulous, and adding the stamps to them just makes such a difference. Obviously you can cut them out of pattern paper as well, so your options are endless really. Right, I'm just getting rid of the excess glue so it doesn't ooze all over the place. We got our wishes, so that's all our sentiments done. I wasn't going to decorate on the inside, but then I saw Karen's demo and I thought, oh, maybe I should, because I never decorate on the inside of a card. But then I thought, oh, we'll do a frame. Right, so let's add these to our frame in the centre. See, this, I think, especially with this frame as well, obviously the front is going to have flowers on it, but this is great for a man's card. Sending birthday wishes. You can barely tell that I didn't line that up properly. Barely tell. So let's get this in place. Obviously it's not going on foam or anything because it's on the inside of the card. Apologies if I'm not answering loads of questions, because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. Jean's not on commission. She just knows a good thing when she sees it, don't you, Jean? Hopefully that's straight. It's a good idea just to pop your sentiments in so you know where they're going to be, rather than just going for it without lining them up, because you might run out of space and you might not have enough space for your third one. I'm not bothering getting rid of the excess on this because they're not fine. Suddenly thought of the Bay City Rollers for some unknown reason. So I was talking about Tart and Brandon. Okay. Right. So remember, we need to cover these up. Now I'm not going to use the buttons because I'm always tempted to put things in the buttons. But I have got, what I've done with them. Where's my little other one? Oh, here it is. I have got loads of hearts here. Loads of hearts. Now, the embellishment hearts on the corners, where it is here. They cut a little frame and they cut a solid as well. So you can actually use the 2 together if you want to, obviously, and vice versa, obviously 2 cuts mean that, and they all do that, all 3 of them. Obviously you can make yourself like little heart-shaped flowers with them as well if you wanted to. There are 2 sizes in the corners. I'll show you that in a minute actually. Let's just hide these. In fact, I've got loads on here as well. There's a little heart I've cut out using my dotty paper as well. That's quite a nice one to have. But what I did think, actually, I've just remembered what I was going to do, because I go off at tangents. What I did think was we could have cascading hearts down here. So we could have, these are actually from the corners. So we could have a big one, a medium one, and a tiny one coming down the frame, like so. And then we could start the other one up a little bit higher, maybe, or even go opposite. So we could have the little one first, maybe that way, then the medium one. The pickup tool's excellent for this sort of thing. And then we can have that one there, like that, and that hides the frames, the join in the frame, but it doesn't look like it's supposed to be. You know, it's just plonked there, because otherwise you'd just have, say, one there and one there, so it'd be obvious that you were hiding something. I don't like that. That's not going to happen. Right, so let's get this glued in, and then we can look at the front, which you will be happy to know that I've got most of it already done. So let's have that one there like that. Again, keeping it fairly flat because it's on the inside. And that one there like that. I need to make sure that we do cover up that join. That one there like that. Maybe push that one up a little bit. Come up. Okay. And then we're going to start up here with the smaller one. That's medium. It's going that way, isn't it? Just an idea. Because this is your waste from your corners. I'm not going to put any corners in here, but you could do. You could really go to town with the inside as well. Don't want dirty fingerprints on this, really. Okay, so there's our inside. Looks okay, didn't it? Right, so let's do the outside now. So I've got my piece that's going to go on the outside, and I've just put little tiny mats and layers in between them, and I've only gone for 1mm foam tape on each layer, so it's not too high and it's not too heavy. And let me see where we're at. Oh. Hard to see around a camera. Okay, we'll go with that. Remember, this is an A5 card, just with a little tiny bit cut off. So for the frame, oh no, we do the corners first actually. We are doing the smaller corners from the heart set. Let's just get rid of that. So remember, there's two different sizes. To give you an idea of the sizes, this is the small one, the solid and the open, and this is the large one, like so. So obviously you can use them separate. You don't have to actually use them as is. The fall away pieces, you could actually, this is a fall away from the large one, so you could actually just pop that on there like that, and then take the small ones. I think that's the small one. Got mixed up, I think. Is that it? I think these have got mixed up, but anywho, even if they haven't, you can get the idea. So you can actually stack them on top. So we could actually get rid of that and take the smaller one. So these are fall away pieces from the smaller one, so you can stack that up there. So you could have, depending on which fall away pieces you use, if you want to stick them on there, you can either have a large border or a very thin border, depending on whether you use the same or not. Maybe buy the hearts die. You can just buy this one, Linda. If you want to just buy this one, you can just buy it on its own. Absolutely. You can just buy the heart sprigs on their own as well. Yeah, from both of our websites. I don't do bundles on my website. Phill does, but he does them individually as well. Absolutely. I don't know what Create and Craft are doing, but like I say, I urge you to buy it from us instead. Right, so you can do that. So obviously these are meant, if you want to, you can just use that on its own. So you could just use it like that if you wanted to. You could just use it like that if you wanted to. Obviously you can put them together. So have I got a glued one? I haven't got a glued one of the big ones because I've used them on a demo. No, I'm lying. I have somewhere, but I don't know what I've done. Right, so you could use a big one stuck together like that, because obviously you've got open on top of your solid, so you see the little bits underneath. You can do you could stack them if you wanted to. You could stack the smaller one on top, which gives a little bit of depth to it. You can absolutely do that. You could stack the small open one on top as well, and again that gives you just a little tiny, a different look if you want to. Okay, but like I say, watch the video that's dropping at 4 p.m. because there's a lot of ideas that you can absolutely do. Doesn't that look nice? But you can put this on here as well. Pretty. We're going to use the small ones. Oh, incidentally, this looks lovely as well. If you cut one out of pattern paper and then put your say black open one on top. These are from the Delightfully Daisy paper pad. That looks really nice. And you can actually as well snip pieces out. So you could, if you wanted to, change your corner completely. Pick up the tool. Come here. Come on. Yeah. You could change the corner completely. There's my scissors. No, don't want those scissors. I want my paper scissors. There we go. You can do this with both of them. So just follow your line down. Like so. And I tend to turn it over, follow the line down, and then they're loose. So you just go around the corner like that. So then you've got a totally different corner. Very, very versatile. And don't forget, if any of you have got the festive festive corners from last year, you can do all these techniques with those as well, and the ones I show you at 4 o'clock. Right, let's get this stuck together. Oh, it's 2 o'clock, sorry Phill. I've got all the other 3 corners done already. You don't have to use this many corners. You can use 3 corners instead, or 2 corners, whatever you want. I'm just going to scribble to dip the last little bit in. A bit cack-handed. There we go. Let's get rid of the excess. Pop it on. Tweezers are excellent for doing this sort of thing. You can even drop shadow them slightly, so move them slightly so that you see more of the black underneath if you want to. Let's just tidy up that on here. Get rid of that glue before I dip something in it. Okay. So for the corners, we're going to get rid of that one. That's really nice, isn't it? And of course, you can do the same thing with the droplet one, which has got lattice work in it. You can just have lattice corners with it, and you can actually create your own frame as well with it. So if you put 4 of them together, you can create your own frame, or you can do borders, chevron borders. You can do. There's just loads, absolutely loads that you can do with them. Right, so we're going to actually alternate the corners, and we're going to have some white on black and some black on white. So we're going to do opposites. That's what we're going to do. Obviously, you can do them the other way if you want to. Look at this. Here we go, tangent. I'm giving you all my secrets here. Look at this for a topper. Oh, don't move. Stay. Look at that for a topper. And then you can just pop a heart in the centre. Put that in there. How fabulous does that look? He's on mute, Ilona. So no, he's not chatting in my ear, thankfully. Let's get these stuck, else we never finish this with my tangents. I wish I was rich as well. Just found out how much my new kitchen's going to cost. No holidays for me ever. ever again. Unless I win the lottery, which is a fat chance of that, seeing as I don't actually buy any tickets. Right, let's pop this one in the corner, and we think we're going to go right to the corner. And do this one. So this video will be available on Facebook to watch anytime, I think, and also on that's on Sentimentally Yours page, and then also on the Crafting with Phil Martin and Sentimentally Yours YouTube channel. It won't be on mine though, because it's not my video. But like I say, I do have other videos dropping, and Ilona's done some videos as well. So you will find them on Ilona's YouTube channel. Ilona, you can drop your YouTube channel link in to the comments if you want to. I know Phil will be happy with you to do that. You're out to see what the design team's done with all these. And the thing is that you find that once you start using them, and you'll also see what other people have done, you think, oh, I wonder if you can do that. And you start kind of thinking of different things with them. They are so versatile. And the frames, I mean, I've not really done much with the frames yet, but you know, definitely doing little gift cards is a thing that is a win-win situation, making shaped gift cards, because you don't often see shaped gift cards, and they are a perfect gift card shape. And quick and easy to do, because you've got everything you need there to do it. Right, last one. Then we get our topper on. Okay, so there's our 4 corners. Not 4 candles, but 4 corners. I was going to show you this and I forgot actually. With the birthday wishes, we can actually use flags as well, the stitch flags. But I can definitely show you that you can get for you in here. So instead of using the frames as a topper, which we're going to, you could actually have this on here and have your flowers around it if you wanted to, so you can make yourself a different card like that. So don't forget your banners and flags, because they are really going to work with these dies as well. Right, so for my layers, I've taken my which one? This one, my Someone Special, which is the one that I've got on the inside, and I'm going to use it in this orientation because I'm going to have Just For You in the center, because you can do that. You can you know, move it around. And I've got my dotty patterned background paper that I've created. I've taken, instead of taking the next one on the frame, oh, that's on the wrong way. Why is it sticking properly? So I haven't taken the next one. I've missed one, and I've taken this next one. So this is the smallest but one of the frames, because Just For You has got small words in it, so I can actually go down to that frame. And so I'll see more of my dotty background rather than having the one that's larger. So we're going to just stick these together. I'm not going to bother doing all the intricate outside bits. I'm just going to put my glue on the solid bits. So obviously these frames can be frames like we've got on the inside, but they're also your mats and layers as well. It's a very versatile collection, and it's only when you start using it that you realise just how versatile it is. I mean, Phill could have just given you you know, a sentiment, just a sheet with a sentiment on it, or, you know, in a couple of different fonts, say. But the fact that we've got the one font, you've got the shadow, and do remember that you can drop that drop shadow a second time, so you can cut it in a different color and then drop another shadow offset slightly, and that's going to give you a different look. And having the frames on it, and I mean, if you didn't watch Phil's demo last night, he used all the frames in a different way to create almost like a big background piece. So that's a really fantastic thing to do with them as well. Jean's saying she's got visitors, but she's just ignoring them. That's so funny. Get your priorities right, Jean. So with these cut-ups, actually, we've actually got space if we want to put a gem in the corners if we wanted to. The dots help you line things up a bit straighter, which is fab, providing you've cut your dots out straight. I think they are. Okay. We'll stick our Just For You down because we can. Make sure I actually stick them in the right order. Obviously, if you wanted to, because these are quite chunky, you could put foam tape on them. Or if you're a glue gel person, you could put glue gel on. I'm not going to. I'm just going to put them on with glue because it's quickest. So we want, oh, I didn't do what I told you to do. Let's do you first. So we're going to do you at the bottom, because that's how it goes, isn't it? Just For You. Then we're going to put just at the top. Like so. And then we're going to put you in the middle and leave a equalish gap between them because I didn't lay them out. How fabulous does that look? And again, this could be a gift card, so you could use your you know, that technique I showed you with hanging the die outside the fold, and you could have your gift card either opening as like a tent at the top, or you can have it opening like that. But obviously this is a topper, but it could be a gift card. Love it, absolutely love it. Right, where's my foam tape? There it is in front of me. So I'm just going to use 1mm again. So I'm not going to stack it up too high. Oh, knock the camera. I can't do a demo without knocking the camera. And I think we're going to have it about there, I think. Yes, about there. Then we've got all my flowers. So for my flowers, I did actually cut some of the open petals out as well. And where I haven't, I don't know if you can see here at the back, where I haven't stamped it perfectly, I move that out of the way. See, that's not stamped very well. But if you actually put your open petal over the top and then layer it up, nobody knows, nobody can tell that that's not an absolutely perfect stamp. So obviously I've just I've put some of the opens with the solids, and I've alternated the black and white, and this is my kind of spray that there's going to be. And we're going to put some heart sprigs. So I've got various heart sprigs already cut. I haven't actually stuck any of these together because I'm probably going to use them separately, but you know, cutting them out of the dotty paper and then perhaps putting one of the white ones around is really cool. That looks fab. Obviously you can just use your black with white, which is fab, and you can use your white with black, which looks fab as well, or you can just use them on their own. So, and the rights and the lefts obviously are just solids. But let's just get these flowers on, and I'll tuck the other bits in. I'm going for glue because I don't use glue gel. And we're going to start with one about here, I think. We've nearly done. Well, we haven't really done, have we? Because I've got to put the sprigs in. That could take me a while. I've got some little tiny flowers as well. I know that glue gel's great for tucking things around. I know that, but I just like the PVA. I don't normally put this many flowers on. I'm normally like Karen, I normally do 3. But I thought we'd just do a fill. Well, it's not a fill, is it? Because there's not another 50 flowers to go on. But it's close. How does that look? That looks fine. Now, sprigs. I do like the righty and lefties a lot. They're great for just a little bit of extra. So I want to just cut them down a bit. And we just took a little bit in there. I'll put a little bit on the back of the black one. Is that a righty? That's a righty. I'm just going to go down there maybe. And do I want to stick those together? I don't know if I do. I do quite like the pattern. I do like the open as well. Let's go for the open. Oh, almost like little people, aren't they? These waving at you. I don't know if it's balanced by having that. This is where I really faff. We're going to put this in here regardless anyway, because otherwise I'll be here forever. And perhaps we'll have up here, we have this one, sticking with the dotty. So we'll have a dotty just up there maybe. So you can just use them like foliage, because there's no foliage on this one, but you can just use them like foliage. Let's have a white one down here, perhaps. We go for a solid. Yeah, we'll have one of these poking out here. Okay. Do I want another righty and lefty? I might have another. How would this look if we just put... I don't want to go over the letters too much. I don't know about that. Let's have a look. I need to see the camera. Come on, hurry up, catch up. I don't think I like that over there. I don't think that's going to happen. Well, that could like that. And then we can have another one come in. So I like to balance it with the white and the black. Just a little bit poking out. Not so I don't cut so much off that one. I think we'll call it a day with the embellishments now, but you can go on and on and on and on and popping embellishments in. Let's have that like that. Okay, happy with that. Don't want that there. Right, just a little bit to finish off, because I've got some other hearts just to pretty it up a little bit. Right, we're going to have... bent that one. Where's my pick up? There we go. So we're going to have a heart here and here, I think, like that. And we're going to have a pair of thin hearts down here. So these are in the corner set. So obviously you get an innie and an outie when you cut them out. And then we're just going to have... I think we're just going to have a couple up here. That was the plan anyway. Like that. Yes. So there's quite a lot of embellishments on here, but I've got loads to play with, so why not? Why not indeed? I would suggest that when you do get these home, that you actually just cut loads out. Probably just black and white card, to be honest, and then play with them. And take photographs. If you got layouts, take photographs. I always do that. Like when I did this, got this ready, I sent a picture to Phil, and he sometimes sends a picture to me when he's done his demos as well, because it looks different when you've got a camera, and sometimes you think, oh yeah, it doesn't work like that, I'll do it a different way, and then you take another picture and you see whether that works better or not. So definitely take pictures. So we're just going to put these fine ones on, and then we're I don't think I'm going to add any more gems. I could add a little gem in each corner if you think I need to. So I might just get rid of the excess. And that's going to be offset with that one. And then we've got two fine frames down here, heart frames. So we've got One there. Turn over. Did. And one there. Like that. Just get rid of that. And then let's just put a couple of gems in. Let's just put one there, one there, one there, and we'll squeeze one in over there. So we're using the Aurora. You can only get these from Honeypot Crafts. And we'll have the 5s. In my pickup tool. Here we go. I don't know what I did without this pickup tool. Wouldn't be without it. It's brilliant for picking up your little pieces as well as your gems. I think my daughter's got her eye on them as well for beads. Let's just make sure that's straight. Yep. I think we're done. We are actually done. So here we are. This is more embellished than I normally do. I told you the background was pretty grungy, as in pretty. So we've got our A5 more or less card blank, just a little bit cut off the bottom, and we've got the heart sprig corners. We've got the heart sprigs there in the background. The flowers are the darling blooms. And we've got the Just For You frame. I've also used the Someone's Special frame. I've used the Dainty Dots stamp. I've used the linen stamp there. We've got the Aurora gems. And then on the inside, I've changed the shape of the frame. And again, it's the Someone Special frame, and we've got Sending Birthday Wishes, which is Sending Hugs frame, and the Birthday Wishes frame. And again, we've got the dots in the background. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope it's not gone on. It's gone on a long time. Not going to look at the time. So I'm going to pass you back to Mr. M, and he's going to show you how to make another stunning card. Bye.
I'm back and I'm unmuted. So before I carry on, I'm just going to check that you can hear me. I have clicked the unmute. That card was absolutely stunning, Julia. Absolutely stunning. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And it's fab that you've got to see so many different ideas. So Karen's card was different to the one I made last night. Julia's is absolutely stunning and it's different to the one I'm going to show you now. So before I carry on, just tell me that you can hear me. There's a little fly in here. I've just caught it. So I'm just checking. Yes, you can hear me. Whoop, whoop. Right, so I'm going to do a quick recap. Just a quick recap for the people that joined in later who didn't manage to see me show you the new dies, and then I'm going to get on with mine. So mine will be quicker than Julia's. So no surprise there. And I'm going to do something of a similar vein to what I did last night, but show you a few different ways to create that same card. Right, so let's do a quickie. So these are the 4 new dies that have been released today. I've already seen that they've been really busy. So I'll just do a quick recap for you. So these are the droplet sprigs, and I'm using the droplets on this demo because I told you right at the beginning that I love them. So the droplets the sprigs has 6 dies in it. You've got open, closed, open, closed, open, closed. And these are, I've done these. This is the first in a series of what will become the droplets, the Sprigs and Corners collection, because there's just so many different ways you can use them. Yeah. So that is the droplet sprigs, and I'll show you what they look like cut out in a minute. This is the droplet sprig corners. So as Julia mentioned, you've got four corner dies in here. You've got the two different sizes in the closed one, the complete, and two different sizes in the open, plus 3 extra little droplets or teardrops. And these are what I'm using on my demo. And then you've got the heart sprigs. So same format. They're all going to be the same format, where you get the open and you get the closed in 3 different designs. The heart, the little left and right sprigs were too small to get the open, so you've got the bend in these. So heart sprigs, and then you've got the heart sprig corners. So different corners, same principle, 2 different sizes, open, closed, and then the extra hearts inside. So I'm going to show you the cards, the little display boards, and then I'm going to get on with my demo. So I'm high as a kite on coffee. I'm on my 3rd. So these are the droplet sprigs. And you can see just how beautifully intricate these are. I just know you're going to use these so often. Yeah. And use them so many different ways. You've got the droplet sprig corners, which are here. So you've got the open and the closed, and the extra 3 little droplets. You've got the heart sprigs, which is what Julia's just used. And you've also got the heart sprig corners, which is what Julia's just used. So on the website, the full bundle has got a bigger saving than the individuals. I can't remember how much it is because Karen did all that. But they're on there. They're all on there, obviously. This is the card that I made last night, for those that didn't see last night. And I'm going to do something pretty similar, but slightly different. Yeah, in a completely different colorway. So that card was a little dinky 6x6, and today's card I hope you're sitting down when I tell you this. Today's card is a teeny tiny 7x5. I've told you it's a new era. We're going to be starting, well, you're going to see more and more small. These are small for me, as you know. I very rarely make small cards. And I've done this for 2 reasons. One, to give you ideas for cards that you can make that you can actually post, sort of. And for lots of my American and Canadian viewers who struggle with postage for bigger cards like 8x8s, etc., etc. So I've got all my bits already cut out. 3 cups of coffee. I'm surprised you're not bouncing off the walls now. I live on coffee these days, David. Live on it. always got a coffee with me and a bottle of juice just in case to balance it. So this is a lovely teeny tiny dinky 7x5 card, and if I'm honest with you, I don't possess any 7x5 card blanks ever. Never have done. This is actually shamefully an 8x8 that I chopped down. No, I didn't. I've left it, Teresa. I've actually left it as an 8x8, but I might stick it onto the 8x8. I've left it as a 6x6, but I might stick it on the 8x8 when you see it on TV. So this is an 8x8 card chopped down to fit a 7x5. I've got my top layer there, which will go on in a second, and I've got all the bits cut out as you would expect. So I've done the same sort of format as we did last night. I'm just going to show you these because I love the droplet sprigs so much. And I'm just going to show you how pretty these are when they've been glamorized with Diamond Dazzle. Aren't they just stunning? And for me, making smaller cards is a bit of a challenge because I'm used to having such a big workspace to work on. But actually, you know what? You can make smaller cards still look as fabulous as you can the bigger cards. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So I've used a combination of dies here from the new frame Sentiments, yeah. And this is what I was saying to you. It's all designed to work together. So I've got the little heart frame which comes with Just For You or something. I can't actually remember. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so the heart frame comes with Just For You. And I've created a little aperture with that using one of the other dies that comes with one of the other sets. So you can just see, can't you, look, how many different ways you're going to be able to create with these dies. I am going to be adding colour today. So last night's colours were weathered wood and tattered rose, and today's colours are completely different. We are doing rusty hinge and fossilised amber. Yeah, rusty hinge and fossilised amber. So I've actually got the happy birthday cut here, which is ironic because Julia's used the same, and we didn't plan that. It's just how it's happened. And Julia did mention to you about doing. She must be reading my mind about doing 3 shadows, and that's what I've got here. So we're going to do all the inky jobs first. The daisies I've got are the delicate daisies. So these are the ones that don't have any. These don't have any of the debossing details in. Yeah. Absolutely, Emma. Emma's just said on Facebook these frames would look fabulous with DL cars, and absolutely they do. The design team have done some DL cars. You'll see all these on Tuesday. Yeah. So I've stuck my daisies together, and I am going to overstamp them. So just to give you a little tip, I'm going to use the heart stamp for this demo. So I'm using the Doodle Dainty Hearts for this. And I'm a little bit finicky, so when I put my flowers on, all the hearts will need to be facing down. And because I've got 2 flowers stuck together, what's going to happen is the top flower is going to get most of the ink. So the bottom petals are going to get less of the ink. So we're going to get effectively a 2-tone look just from stamping with flowers already made together. If you don't want that, just stamp them separately before you stick them together. So I'm going to do the flowers first, and then we're going to ink all this. Look at this. How beautiful is that corner? Love it, love it, love it. What are the flowers with the emboss called, please? The ones I used last night, Linda. The ones I used last night were the dotty daisies. And there are 4 different types of daisies in my daisy set. So a bit of kitchen roll. We're going to do the flowers first, and I'm going to use the Doodle Dainty Hearts for this. And I can't find the one that I've used already, so I've got to use my spare, which is shocking. I don't like to use my nice clean stamp. I'm going to leave this on the acetate rather than put it on my acrylic block, and I'm going to see if I can get all these done in one go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. When would I do 5? Haha. That panicked me. So we've got 6 flowers. And I'm going to try and stamp them all in one go. So just to give you a little tip. So I'm leaving this on the acetate rather than putting it on my acrylic block. And the reason I've done that is because I want these to be shabby. I don't want them to be perfectly stamped. So if I wanted them with perfect hearts everywhere, I would probably use my acrylic block so I can get some weight behind it. But I don't. I'm going to do that one separate, I think. I don't want them perfect. So here we go. We are using 2 different colours. Fossilised amber. And I am using Distress Oxides because we're going for that shabby look. So there'll be a little bit, what's the right word? Distressed, because it's not going to be perfect. Not going to be perfect. Words you never thought you'd hear me say, eh? And I'm going to add just some random bits of rusty hinge. And those of you that have watched me before, you know that I love oranges and yellows together. And rusty hinge and fossilised amber are stunning together. So I'm going to stand up to do this. And I'm going to pop that on. And I'm going to rub that down with my fingers. Remember, I'm not going for absolutely perfect. So if this is perfect, I'm going to be a bit annoyed. I might have a tantrum. Oh, that looks so beautiful. That looks so beautiful. So where it's hit, you can see that they are proper hearts. Oh, that is so gorgeous. Look at these lovely little flowers with little dainty hearts in them. That is just beautiful. I'm just going to do the big one and then I can pop that to one side. It depends, Karen. Karen's just asking me on Facebook, is it better to do it this way rather than on the stamping platform? And it depends what kind of look you're going for. If you want them spot on perfect, do them on your platform or do them on an acrylic block. I don't want these to be perfect, so I'm doing it by hand. And what happens is when you see me rubbing the stamp, where I'm rubbing harder, you get a stronger colour. And it's a little bit mishmashy, which is exactly what I'm going for. This card will be very pretty when I've finished, same as last night. Just remember not to wiggle. Just remember not to wiggle the stamp. Don't move the stamp, otherwise you'll end up with double stamping. That is so beautiful. How beautiful are these little teeny tiny dainty hearts? And remember, these hearts are literally 1.2 millimeters. They're so tiny. So I'm doing the flowers first so that I can let the ink dry before I put my gems in. And yes, I've used one of my wipes, which is one that I've been using earlier for cleaning my mat. So let's pop that back. And pop that back where it lives. I am going to use, oh, in fact, I'll leave it out because I am going to use it again in a minute. I'm going to use it again in a minute. So while I've got my bit of kitchen roll here, Julia mentioned on her demo, and honestly, she must have been reading my mind. She was telling you that you can do, same as you could with my elegance script sentiment, you can do 2 or 3 or 4, however many layers of drop shadow that you want. Yeah, and I'm going to do that now. We're going to have a fossilized amber shadow and we're going to have a rusty hinge shadow. So I'll do the fossilized amber first, so just make sure I don't do both. And again, I'm using a smoothie for this, just so it's not solid fossilized amber. I'll bring it in and show you in a second. I don't want it solid. Spot on. Spot on. Put that there, put that there. And then we're going to do rusty hinge for the other one. I'm going to do all the inky jobs first. If you haven't got rusty hinge in your stash, it's stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. It's a gorgeous deep, almost like a pumpkin orange. So let's get this a little bit heavier. I want it heavier in some places and softer in other places. You're only going to see a bit of this. So I've got happy birthday and, well, birthday happy and birthday happy. I'll bring it in and let you just see what I've done, just in case you want to have a go at this yourself. So you can hopefully, there you go, look, you can see where I've made it stronger in some areas, lighter in some other areas. Yeah. I'm going to pop that to one side. In fact, I'll put it over here. Oops. And then we're going to come to these little bits of card that I've embossed. So this little embossing folder is the 7x5 one with the little butterflies in flight. And I'm going to brayer over these. I don't think there's a link in the description because I didn't do one, but you will get the gist. You will get the gist. So I'm going to brayer over these, and you are only going to see sections of this. This is why I did so many of these. Karen, Fossilized Amber and Rusty Hinge are stunning together. So you are only going to see bits of these, but I'm going to brayer over all of it just because it's easier than trying to do little areas. So Fossilized Amber first. And I'll do this one first. Oops. And then this one. And then I'm going to be very naughty and not clean my stamp, my brayer, and go over it with Rusty Hinge. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. So we've now got the same two colours showing through underneath. I am going to clean this now. I guess you could clean your brayers on your little stamp cleaner, but why would you? You're just going to put too much ink on it. So pop that to one side because I've done with the brayer. I'm going to pop that over there to dry. Remember, Distress Oxides take a while to dry. And then I've got to stamp the top one here with the hearts and the other two little panels with the hearts. So this one needs to be portrait, landscape. So I'm going to do this one first. And this time I am going to do it on my block. Distress Oxides, Linda. All right. Well, a brayer is one of those tools that you absolutely have to have. Even if you only use it now and again, you absolutely have to have it. So same form, same principle as before. Fossilized amber first. I just love yellow and orange together on my cars. I always have done. And you know how some people like pink and purple together. Well, I don't, unless it's pastel colours. I prefer yellow and orange, or turquoise and green. So this is going to be at the top of my card. So the same as I did last night, the stamp is actually going to be a feature rather than just an extra. So I'm going to try and get this straight, which means I need to stand up again. And I'm just going to try and stamp off the edge of the page and make sure it's straight. You know, I don't make jobs easy for myself. If it's straight, it'll be a miracle. Oh, look at that. That's just so intricate. I wish you could see how dainty these little hearts were. And then these two are going to be portrait, so I can do these at the same time if I can get them straight. So we'll soon find out whether they're straight or not, but it won't matter too much. I'm doing all the inky jobs first. So just random. And hopefully I've done, that's what you call sod's law. I'll do them side by side. I didn't go far enough down. Hang on. Hang on. So I can't see anything you're saying to me at the minute, but when I sit down, I'll have a quick look. And let's see if I can get this straight again, or straight-ish. Doesn't matter if it's not spot on. So the actual happy birthday here is going to be left white. So I've used the stamps that I designed specifically for stamping onto the sentiments on everything else except for the sentiments. And of course they've both landed that way. That is just so lovely. Let me show you. That's just so lovely. Yeah, yes, but no, but yeah, but no, but yeah, but no, but Tracy. So with the oxides, it doesn't really damage them if you contaminate them. So it doesn't really matter. Let's see if I just clean this. I am using a wipe just to be quicker. Wouldn't it been nice having Karen and Julia demoing as well? Right, so we've got the frame here, we've got the sentiments, and we've got the corners. So I'm just going to bring back in my happy and birthday. And I'm going to stick these together first. So what I'm going to do is just look at which colour is the most dominant. So looking at all the bits that I've just stamped, the rusty hinge is the darkest colour, so that's the most dominant. So I'm going to have rusty hinge at the bottom, and we're going to layer these together. I'm going to pop the happy birthday on first. Just put the lids on these inks. Oops, I've just knocked my mouse. So I'm just putting the lids on my inks because I always end up putting my finger in them. So I'm going to put the sentiments on top of the inked ones first, and then give us 2 drop shadows because we can. You can do as many or as little as you like. So I know that my sentiment is going on top of the fossilized amber because the rusty hinge is going at the bottom. That just looks so lovely. The ink's not quite dry yet. I've just stuck my finger in it. Naughty Phill. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get the design team to guest when they're confident to do it. I'm gonna get the design team to come and guest onto some of my lives as well, because the design team are all so talented, and it'd be nice for you to see them in action. So happy. Oops, I've gone too far. Happy and birthday. So that's already got one shadow on. We're going to give it a second shadow because we can. So now, so if you're going to have a go at this, just remember you can do this whichever way you want it. So you could have the shadow at the top, you could have it at the side, you could have it at the bottom, or you could have it at the other side. I'm going to have mine. I think I'm going to have it at the top actually. Just at the top. And I think that looks really rather lovely. And whatever colours you use, look, can you see? We've just got the rusty hinge one showing from the top. And you all know me well enough to know that you can glitter all of that word as well. So the white words can be glittered. I'm not going to do it for this card, but I might do it after the demo's finished. So I'm going to do the same again here. So just giving me a little drop shadow. That's fabulous. Look at that. It reminds me of the cartoons, you know, when they used to have lots of sentiments. Oh, good old hubby Christine. So we've got that there, that there. I'm going to stick this on after I've just gone around the edge. So I'm going around the edge of the hearts just with the ink that's already on my smoothies. I'm not inking the whole thing. So when you use strong colours, or when I do particularly, I like to balance it with the white. Oops. And I'll do the same on this one. And then we're just going to add a little bit of the rusty hinge. So we've got more white than we have colour really on this card. So smooth is out the way. That's going to go on flat. Wait till you see how many different ways you can use these frame dies. So that's going to go straight onto there. Did I not put enough glue on? Let's find out. Yeah, absolutely you can, Shell. Shell's just saying on YouTube you could have one drop shadow at the top and another one at the bottom. You absolutely can. How pretty is that? So coming to the corners. So these are the droplet sprig corners, and I'm only using 2 on this card. And I am just going to give a slight bit of colour to the droplets. And Julia was showing you earlier, when I was prepping this card, I was going to do this. So I was going to have two where I chopped off the droplets and 2 with the droplets. And I might still do that, but let's just see. Let's just see. So I'm just adding a little tint of colour. I don't want it on the lattice, I just want it on the tips of these droplets. Because these are going to be sitting on the white part of the card. And I did get some ink on there, which is a pain in the neck. So inking's done, inking's done. We'll get the gems in these daisies. And I brought these, I just don't know whether they're going to match. Let me just see. Yes, they do, they match beautifully. So these are the amber gems. And the amber is a beautiful amber colour. Which is like your burnt orange, and it works really well with rusty hinge. So next time I have guests, I'm going to demo first. And then I can just leave them to get on with it when I've done. So they are the amber gems, which are a lovely, lovely, lovely deep amber colour, which works really well with the rusty hinge. Right, so let's get to this card. I'm not sure why I didn't put this base on first, so I'm going to put the base on first. I'm not sure why I didn't do that ahead of time, but I didn't. So I'm not doing anything to this. No extra colour, no splats, no inking around the edge. It's just going to stay plain white with Diamond Dazzle, as you would expect. Oops. And you know as well as I do, at the end of this demo, when I finish this card, I'm going to show you what it looks like on a bigger card as well. And this is the beauty of these dies. I've designed them specifically to work on... Have I got ink on my mat or is it off my finger? Yeah, I've designed them specifically to work on bigger cards and smaller cards. And I know that's a phrase that I say a lot, but you absolutely can with these. I love them. Love them, love them, love them. I'm going to stand up to get this on. Julia's doing her chores whilst watching. I don't blame you. I was doing other jobs while I was watching you. Just creasing that again, and I'm just going to literally diamond dazzle quickly around the edge. I honestly thought I'd done this. So you know what you're going to get from me. You know you're going to get a pretty card. And I guess these dies will work whatever your style is. So when I get time, we will do some very grungy looking cards with the same dies. I've got a little bit of ink on there, so I'm going to have to make sure that I cover it up with something. So a little 7x5 card. Teeny tiny 7x5 card. Oops, sorry, I forgot one more job. Forgot one more job. So remember when I just told you I was inking the tips of these little flourishes? I'm now glittering, and because I've used, I'm only doing the droplets, and because I've used a distress oxide, it will pull some of that glitter, some of that colour down when the glue dries. I'm just laughing at Julia. She did a lot of I know you did. I could see you did. But it was a fabulous card, so don't apologise. Yeah, so remember, if you use distress oxides and you put glue over the top, it will react with the water content from the glue, and it will pull in a little bit of the colour as the glue dries, which I think is quite pretty. It's like a little bonus. So no more glitter is going on this until the card is actually put together. So all the rest of the glitter will be put on after I've put the card together. So similar to what I did last night, we're going to use these as our platforms to put everything onto. And this time I'm going to have this. Which way around did I do it last night? So last night, on last night's card, I'm just going to show you. So on last night's card, we had the embossed pieces over the top of the stamp. So I'm going to do it in reverse for this card. We're going to do this in reverse. So the embossed pieces are going on flat. And I already know where I want these. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put the corners on first, just to make sure I've got enough space. So I am just using my normal glue. You already know, if you use the glue with the brush applicator, it's going to be even easier. So I'm going to come in just off the inside of where my glitter line is. And the same on the top. You already know this is going to be pretty just looking at it. And I guess because you can do it in whatever colours you like, it's going to look fabulous whichever way you do it. So I'm coming just on the inside of the glitter line, And now I know exactly how far I can go with my embossed pieces. So this is going to be quite close. Just make sure that's straight and it looks it. I've not inked any of the edges. I don't know whether I never mentioned that to you. Let me just tell you why, look. So when I was designing these dies and I put them together, normally, as you know, you would get the debossed sections. Now I haven't done debossing on these dies on purpose. A, because it keeps the I get more space for extra layers. But B, can you see, look on the edge, you get that little teeny tiny edge from the edge of your card. And it kind of makes the stamping and everything stand out. And I love that. Love it. It's all about the details. All about the details. So this one is going to go same sort of distance, about there. And then the doodah, the stamps are going to go on with, you know what, glue gel. If I can find the cocktail stick. So not high, so this is not going to be a 6-inch deep card. Well, it might be. It might be when I'm finished. So this one is going to go here. You can see now why I love these two colours together. Here we go. Just remember to stamp your hearts the right way up when you're doing this. And now for the frame. So all, as you know, all the flowers and everything get put on after. This little frame looks fabulous as it is. And I could pop the sentiments on there. But you know I'm going to do more to it than that. So this has now got to have higher peaks for the glue gel. Oops. You can do this with foam tape. I just favour glue gel, as you know. It means I can work quicker. So no glue going around the frame. The frame is going dead centre. So this is going dead centre on this teeny tiny dinky. Look, you can see how the glue's pulling in the colour a little bit, look. So dead centre, I'm just making sure it's straight. That looks pretty good to me. And then this is going on top. Not as high, obviously, because we're already an inch thick. No glitter around the edge. Just getting that the right height. I know I'm faffing, but it needs to be right. So I just want this just a teeny tiny bit higher than the frame. And that's perfect. That's perfect. So you can see how this is all coming together. And we're going to use these two platforms here for the sentiments. So slightly different to what I did last night because I put the sentiments out of the way in the corner. But I am going to use these as my platforms for the sentiments, which I think is really quite marvellous. So I'm going to put the sentiments on first, and then we're going to put the daisies and the foliage in where the gaps are. And you know what these are going on with? You could do it with normal glue, but I like them raised off my card. It just gives a little bit more texture. Oops. Glue down. So I'll put birthday on first. So birthday. And then happy. And you can do this with every one of these new die sets. So we've got happy, I'm just making sure it's straight. Happy and birthday, and it is straight. So now the daisies. I've got a butterfly there, I don't know whether I'm going to use it or not yet. So the daisies have now dried enough for me to just poke them up a little bit. Same as I did last night's demo. It's very much a... when I was talking to some of the American and Canadian store owners a few weeks ago, last week, whenever it was, week before, they loved my style of card, and they were saying it's very much like a scrapbook page, but in card format. And I liked that because it is very involved, but very balanced. So daisies first. So these three, and then those three. Where are you? It's a good job my demos have been quicker, or we'd have been here till 7 o'clock tonight. And this is what I'm trying to show you. So this is coming off the frame. Oh, and I've done what I told you I wasn't going to do. Make sure your hearts are the right way. It bugs me. It bugs me when they're not. Doesn't matter with the stars and the dots, but hearts need to be the right way. This is a less is more card. I've got loads of butterflies spare, Linda, on my little... Over here, you can't see it, but in that corner is where my iPad is, where I see my screens and everything. And every time I have spare die cuts left over, they get chucked on there, on the little platform. So I've got loads and loads of little spare things. So when I've finished, remind me, don't let me go before doing the giveaway. So just make sure I've got the hearts the right way up. And we have. No, that's not right, Phil. That's right. I've done it again without thinking. So this looks very pretty already. And wait till I took the sprigs in. I'm just trying to find a full heart so I can make sure it's the right way. That way. Right, so that's where we're at. It's very blingy. And the reason I've not glittered the flowers, I've not glittered the sentiment or the frame is because I've got glitter all the way around. I've got glitter on my corners, and all of these lovely little flourishes have been glittered within an inch of their lives. So we're now going to pop these on, tuck them underneath. You know, I always tuck my foliage underneath after the flowers are on. I can't tell you how fabulous these are. These little teardrops. I can't see what anybody's saying, but I will look later, I promise you, when I'm on another coffee. So we're now going to fill in our foliage. So this is instead of using leaves, but clearly you can see it's going to work really nicely with leaves as well. So if you like, I mean, like I do, you know as well as I do that we're gonna have more foliage on these when I finish doing the demos. Not this card because it doesn't need it. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oops. Details. So for the I'm just going to make these a little bit smaller for the other side. Oops, that's far too much glue gel. Phill, what you messing at? And then the last one, we are nearly done. Don't let me go without choosing the winners, because somebody is going to win a corner set and a sprig set from Facebook and from YouTube. And then these little extras. Oops, just banged that. Sorry. There you go. And then these little extras, look, I'm going to use these constantly. I can tell you that now, because I absolutely love them, both in the hearts and in the droplets. They're just going to fit perfectly in all the little areas. So I'm going to have one coming out there. I'm going to have another one coming out there. Oh, love them. Making sure I'm not moving my hearts, which I did with that one. And then I'm just going to put the last one in underneath there as well, because this is where the biggest bunch of flowers is. Don't let me faff too much. So now let me see if I want the butterfly on. Let me just, I can't see what you're saying to me. Oh, set 2 won't be for a while yet. Set 2 won't be for a while yet. At least a couple of months. So yes, we are going to have the butterfly, and I'm not going to glitter it. I'm going to leave it plain white. Just to break up the colour. I was being a bit tight there with the glue gel. Forgive me. My stomach's rumbling now. And then you know what the last job is? You know what the last job is? A couple of random gems. Aren't they two colours together? Lovely. So a couple of random gems, and then we are done. I have got from last night's demo a couple of the little buttons left over. I don't think this card needs them, to be fair. But next time you see the photo, when you see the photo, you might see a few buttons on as an extra. So a couple of random gems, and I say random, but they're actually not. They fit really nicely in those spaces. Oops. These gems are stunning. This colour is absolutely beautiful, this amber. So yes, I've made a 6x6 card, and I've made a 7x5 card. So it can be done. I can do it. And I'll bring that in and let you see the detail. I don't know what this piece of card's for here, because I know I didn't need it. So I'm going to bring that in and let you see this close up. So all my hearts are facing the right way. And because, remember I said to you earlier, balance your colours out with the white. So the white of the butterfly, the white of the droplet sprigs just separates that colour up a little bit, and it actually looks really quite balanced. Yeah. So I'm going to show you now how this looks on a bigger card. I'm going to be honest with you. When I take the photo of this in the morning, I won't do it today because I've got other jobs to do. I might put some glitter along the top of the sentiments. We'll wait and see. So that is on a lovely little 7x5. And I've now got here another piece. I can't remember how big I did this. This is 8x6. So this is an 8x6 piece. So I'm showing you this because I love doing my big cards, as you know. And look how fabulous it is when you mount it onto another layer. So if you're watching from America or Canada, I've done some small cards for you. If you're watching from the UK, I've made them bigger. Let me show you last night's as well. So that was last night's card. And that's last night's card onto an 8x8. So do them smaller, do them bigger. Who'd have thought? These are very similar look. The way I've done them is very, very similar. Just by changing the colour and just by changing the stamps. I love that little heart stamp. I don't think I've ever seen a stamp with hearts on that are so small. So just by changing the stamps, changing the colour, adding the corners, it looks completely different. Yeah. Aren't we just... It's just fabulous. So on its own, it is quite deep. But on its own, or mounted onto the larger one. And I might, when you see these on my shows next week, I might mount them onto the big ones and decorate the inside. I'll see how much time I've got. Yeah. Your choices, it's up to you. I'm showing that you can do it big, but you can do it small. It's entirely up to you. I favour big cards, you know I do, because that's my thing. But there you go. Right, so hopefully you've managed to get everything you need. I'm going to do all the little... I'm going to get a drink first. I'm going to choose the winners. I'm not going to forget to choose the winners. So I'm going to do all my little jobs first. So all the new all the new dies and stamps are available to order now from our website or from Julia's. The stamps, you can only get the stamps from me and from Julia and from a few select retailers. Okay? They're not going to be on TV, the stamps. All the dies will be, but the stamps will not be. So my shows on TV are next Wednesday. So I've got 4, well, I will have 4 demos prepped for that as well. So I'll have 4 new demos for you for that as well. Look how different they look there. Gorgeous, but different. So the shows are next Wednesday at 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. So if you haven't, please do already. Please do follow my Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. There may be a live next Monday evening, or there might not. I will let you know, because I've obviously got a lot to do before TV on. I'm leaving on Tuesday. So Sentimentally Yours on Facebook. My personal page is Phill Crafty Martin. If you are on the Instagram, it's Phill M Martin. If you're on the TikTok, it's Phill M Martin. And my YouTube is Crafting with Phill Martin. So please do subscribe to my channel if you can. So the Facebook group, if you want to join our lovely little Facebook group, because both of these cards will be given away in my Facebook group either next week or the week after. I will sign them and give them away. So if you haven't yet joined our Facebook group, just search on Facebook for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours and ask to join the group. I do that. I do the card giveaways just for the members in my group because they are really rather fabulous. So I'm going to do 2 giveaways. So one on Facebook and one on YouTube. Sorry, I'm choking because I'm talking too much. So let's do the heart corners on YouTube and the droplet corners, because these are worth 20 quid each. So the heart corners on YouTube and the droplet corners on Facebook. So I'm going to randomly go through all the comments. Sorry, I've left that on, I forgot. If you win, please do send me a message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with your name and address so that I know where to send it to, and we will get all your orders packed and posted next Monday, Tuesday. And good luck, everybody. So here we go. So I'm over to YouTube first. So good luck, everybody on YouTube. So I've gone right to the top of the comments. Oh, I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been quite nice having a couple of hours and with a guest demonstrator as well. So the winner on YouTube is Susan Smith. So Susan Smith, if you are still watching, and I hope you are, send me a private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with your name and address, and we'll get this set of dies, the Heart Sprig corners, sent off to you on Monday probably. So over to Facebook. Everybody is fabulous. So, there's over 1,000 comments. So let me just get to the top, everybody. Yep, same but different, Brenda. And this is why I love dies like this. You imagine selling your cards that look like this. People are going to love them. So the winner on Facebook is... I've just gone right to the top. I'm just scrolling because there was a lot of comments. I need to get through them all. So the winner on Facebook is Kim Lee. So Kim Lee, congratulations. The mouse has stopped on your name. So send me a private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with your name and address, and we will get this die set posted off to you. So I hope you've enjoyed everything. I know it was a lot of new stuff all in one go, but hopefully you love everything as much as we do. And you have got a little bit of a breather for a few weeks before I bring you something else. So it gives you a few weeks to catch up. And when I say a few, I mean about 3. So I'm now going to get a quick shower because I'm covered in glitter. And then I'm going to relax and read all your comments. And I will let you know about Monday evening whether there's going to be a live. Tracy Noble's asked me what ink pads I used on last night. That is weathered wood and tattered rose. Tattered rose and weathered wood for last night. And rusty hinge and fossilized amber that I absolutely love together for today's. So thank you, everybody. I will let you know about Monday as soon as I know how much work I've got done before next week's TV shows, because I've still got to get my demos prepped and I'm leaving on Tuesday because I'm on early on Wednesday. So thanks, everybody. I will chat to you in our lovely little Facebook group. Have a lovely rest of the weekend and I'll see you soon. Bye.